José dos Santos Sagueiro has lived here in the center of Lisbon for over 40 years. 4 decades in a damp flat that's never been renovated. He doesn't even have any heating. The 75-year-old and his wife are making the best of a bad situation.
Everything used to be better, but the rain's been coming in for the past 5 years. The water comes right through the roof. The landlord keeps making small repairs, but it doesn't really help.
The couple are the only people still living in the house. They've got an old contract, so they pay just 20 euros a month. They remain here because they couldn't afford anything else on their tiny pensions. More and more tenants are moving away from the city. Journalist José Fernandes is concerned about the mass exodus. He was born in central Lisbon but now lives in a suburb.
In the last 20 years, we think about around 1/3 of the population of Lisbon has gone away. Why? Because the people that are younger, usually they cannot afford to pay for a flat or apartment in the town. And the old people that usually they live with the family, now they live alone.
Lisbon is one of Europe's most beautiful cities, but it's slowly dying out. The economic crisis is robbing the city on the River Tejo of its children. Pedro Paes de Brito is one of them. He used to live and work here. His antiques shop was one of the best in the city before the crisis hit.
My customers were mainly people from the middle classes. They don't have the money to buy antiques anymore. The whole atmosphere in the city has changed radically. People are less carefree. Lisbon was famous for people enjoying themselves. That's over.
Pedro's precious furniture was once on display here. The new shop sells cheap clothing. Pedro jokes around with the owner, but in reality he feels more like crying.
Coming back here is really difficult for me. Thinking about all the money I've lost isn't even the worst thing. My whole life has been destroyed.
The story of the antiques dealer is typical of developments in the country. Many people here believe the downward slide is not over yet.
Portugal can be next Greece. I hope not. But our biggest problem is we almost don't have capacity to grow. Our economy is flat for a decade.
The politicians in Lisbon's town hall seem unperturbed by the situation. The deputy mayor says the crisis and its effects on central Lisbon are surmountable.
We have around 40,000 empty apartments. Many are no longer being let because the owners are worried the tenants wouldn't pay the rent. We want to introduce insurance so that if tenants don't pay, the rent will still be covered. We hope that will attract people back to the centre.
Pedro doesn't want to rely on any such promises. He's taken an apartment outside the city, which is 3 times cheaper than flats in the centre. He started again from scratch, making handmade chocolates. He's already supplying some high-class restaurants, and he has no intention of giving up.
The crisis isn't over yet. I make chocolates now. There are always people willing to spend money on them, no matter how bad things get. I believe in it. I'm securing my livelihood.